Alright guys, what's going on? Today we're going to be doing a little bit of maintenance on the 240 because tomorrow it's going to get tuned on the dyno. Super excited about this. This has been really long awaited. I'm really nervous about it, but I was instructed to do a full fluid flush of everything so that way it's at peak performance when they put it on the dyno so they can push it as hard as they need to. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of fluid flushing on the RB25 motor, so enjoy. Alright, so an important thing to do when flushing your fluids is to make sure you contain them in a safe environment. I went ahead and drained my antifreeze into this bucket. Kind of looks like piss right now. But I drained the antifreeze in the bucket and I put it up on this high stool right here. So I went ahead and drained everything, and inside the pipe I noticed a little bit of crud. So I was like, I'll just go ahead and run full water through it. So right now, yeah, it's still full of water. So we're gonna drain that, and then we're gonna top it off with some fresh 50/50 antifreeze. So let's go ahead and lift this thing up and drain the rest of the water out. I went ahead and jacked it up, and I have a Mishimoto radiator. So if you look underneath here, radiator is gonna be right here, and the drain plug is right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a socket, pull that off, and then we got our bucket. I'm gonna scoot right underneath it. I know this is overkill, but I'm too lazy to look for a smaller wrench or socket size. Another good tip is when you're draining your coolant, take the radiator cap off and it lets the air flow faster. I'm gonna take it off and watch how much this increases in flow. All right, we went ahead and it's barely dripping now. So another good thing to do is the cap right here, the drain plug, has a little bit of RTV tape on there. It's important to go ahead and try to get as much of that off as you can and put more on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I'll be right back. I went ahead and put some more thread sealing tape on there. There was the stuff I took off. It was pretty old, kind of gray looking. In case you don't know what you're looking for, get some of this thread seal tape. It looks like this. Find it at like Home Depot. Really any parts store will have this stuff. It's pretty awesome for anything blocking fluids with like a bolt or anything. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead let me get my oversized wrench here. So much overkill. All right, it's good and tight in there. So now that we've got that all sealed up, I'm gonna lower the car back down, and then we can start filling it up with our brush concentrate. This part might be a little redundant because most people probably know how to change their oil. I looked at the placement of the oil filter and it's right above the mounting bracket and there's not a lot of room in there. So I'm just going to include this in the video since it's a little a dyno prep video. So just like the coolant, you want to take your oil cap off. We're going to set that right there. And we're going to go ahead and lift the car up and we'll drain the oil. Just so you guys know, the drain plug here, can't really see it. Drain plug is a 14 millimeter. Mine's a little bit loose, obviously from previous owners, stripping it out a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and loosen that, and then I'm going to get the oil pan and I'll drain it from there. We're gonna go ahead and drain this oil. I gloved up, so hopefully this doesn't go terrible. I know it was running rich at one point when I first was working on the car, so probably a lot of oil has been burnt up. And you know, as you can see, the drain hole is a lot higher than some points of the oil pan because it's been dented in so much. Majority of the oil is gonna drain out of here, so. But I was told to go ahead and drain it in case a little bit of the fuel got mixed in with the oil, because it will affect it'll affect the dyno, how they tune it. When I did the first oil change on this motor, I over tightened the oil filter. So I'm gonna have to do something that I really don't like to do. I've had to do this on one other car, and it's where I hammer a screwdriver through the middle of the oil filter to get it off. This is like a last resort type thing. Okay, you can see the orange band right there. That's the oil filter. And right below it's the subframe. So obviously it's not gonna drip cleanly down onto my little drip pan there. I've got this towel right here that I'm hoping that's gonna soak most of it up. You know, I already drained the oil pan, so there shouldn't be too much come out of the oil filter, but I know some will, so. Alright, so we're ready to go ahead and put our filter and oil back in after we decapitated the oil filter off of the block. A lot of people are running the 15W50 full synthetic. So I'm using this time, and I'm using a purolator filter. Here's the number for you guys. And fun fact, probably a lot of people already know this, but this filter fits the original 240, the KA motor. It fits a 300ZX NA or turbo motor. And, you know, I don't know if it fits an SR20, but I'm going to go ahead and say it probably does. It also fits like a Nissan Altima and a Maxima from the same years of the 240, like an S14. So that filter goes in a lot of Nissans. Shout out to Nissan for doing that. I love when they do stuff like that, when they reuse parts. I'm gonna go over. Okay, so in case you guys don't know, something you're supposed to do to get the rubber seal on here activated is to take a little bit of your old oil, get that on my finger, and you're supposed to here. But yeah, we're going up in there. This filter has like a textured grip on it, so I'm not gonna over tighten it this time. So okay, I'm just using my fingertips to get it tight on there. Now I'm gonna torque it down a little bit. I'm just gonna do it with my hand though. Everything looks good oil-wise down below being sealed up. We're gonna go ahead and lower the car and top it off. Pretty good technique. So went ahead, topped up the oil. I checked it. We're good to go. The coolant, as far as I know, I topped it up. I ran it a little bit. I didn't include that. How it's going? Just like don't move around. So there's still shots.